live from Music City, Nashville, Tennessee. This is your motivational, sensational, inspirational, educational, aspirational, international, keenly awaited, daily created, highly anticipated edition of the afternoon swing trading floor with your humble host, Jeremy Alexander Newsom, with another daily dose of mentally delicious brain food, reminding each of you to love life, live life, and trade it. What's going on? Folks, friends, family, fans from around the world. Trust you're all doing radically incredible. Type in a 1 if you can hear me and see my chart okay. Mark says, hello, fellow traders. Tracy Ball throwing in some 1. Donnie Baldwin is in the building. What's going on, Donnie? Scott McKay is here. Congrats, Scott, to be able to grind back a win. I have some fun things to share with you today. This was so good. I'm quite proud of myself today. I want to share some good news with you beautiful folks. So we're going to do that. Okay, recording. Got it. So let's do this. Here's what I'm thinking. We're just going to review the broader markets and talk through what the markets did. I'll share with you what I did today, kind of give you an update on my swing trades and just kind of what's generally going on, answer any questions that you have, and then that will be our Tuesday. Tomorrow is Energy Wednesday. Already just August is flying by, and really pumped about that. Donnie says 1 tweet can change everything right now. Pretty much. So we did get the retest today that we discussed yesterday of we had the double top, double bottom combo. So here was the double bottom that we talked about yesterday, and here was the double top that we talked about yesterday. And I said, I really do not know which one's going to win. I said, be prepared for anything. And the thing that I wanted to share with you today, type in a 1 if you remember me saying yesterday, I'm going to wait 2 hours before I take a trade today. Type in a 1 if you guys remember that. Okay, so I did wait. I did. And I literally missed everything. I was so mad. I just turned the computer down and I went and took a nap. I set up 2 trades. They didn't do anything. They didn't trigger. I'll show those trades to you. It was on ROKU and Square for some day trades. So I did get stopped out of a swing trade. We're going to talk about that, NEWR. So I got stopped out of a swing trade. It was a bullish swing trade too. And most of the move happened within the first 35 minutes of the day. Once that move occurred and I knew I missed it, I was fuming internally. Like I didn't tell anyone else. I was just so mad. But the reason I'm bringing it up is because I was happy that I recognized it. Because I always mention, and a lot of traders do, don't trade when you're emotionally compromised. If you know that something internally is going crazy, like there was a part of my brain that said, hey bro, just buy 4,000 shares of this stock for no reason in particular, just to see if it works. Like that was my brain. My brain actually said that at one point. I pulled up AMD and it was like, just short 4,000 shares for the fun of it. And I was like, what? Why would I do that? And yeah, so I missed it. I didn't take any day trades today. I'm still down for the month because I lost on the swing trade, the bullish swing trade. And I was bad. I was upset. And so I just took a nap. I didn't do really anything all day, realistically. I say that I went to a film studio and recorded some videos and worked on Ashley, worked with Ashley, did a coaching session with someone else. Did a bunch of emails, did a bunch of phone calls. I did that kind of stuff today, but I did not take any. I set up some trades, they didn't trigger. I got stopped out of 1 trade that was a bullish swing trade. I was just like, I'm mad. So the moral of the story is don't trade when you're mad because your brain will do really dumb things. So recognize it, understand if you're mad for whatever reason, and just pack it in. Someone once told me, I forget who it was, but someone said that the stock market's going to be open tomorrow. I was like, all right, well, if you say so. If tomorrow is Wednesday and it's not a holiday, I'm pretty sure the stock market's open tomorrow. So type in a 3 if you think that I have a shot at getting some R's tomorrow. Because I don't know, maybe we will, right? Maybe there's a chance. Maybe there's a chance. So just understand that I'm always going to be honest with each and every one of you here. If you have a bad day or a day where you're annoyed or a day where you're frustrated or whatever's happening, if you know that, you can feel that, just pack it in, smile, do something great, and then go on to the next day. That's really it. SPY was a wonderful move, and I do absolutely think I could have caught some bullish movement today, because yesterday I was really flexible. We gapped down this morning and then we just ran, right? The SPY ran higher. I mean, it broke above. I really feel like I would have caught something. Even if I didn't catch this move, I did back trade SPY today and I did trade this one bullish. So I feel like I would have caught something, because that was a head and shoulders on the 5-minute. And I was just like, there's no way we're going to drop that fast. So that was head and shoulders. I just thought it was a trap. I would have gotten triggered in here, stop here, exit there. So I did back trade the SPY. I would have made money, didn't, all that good stuff. So anyway, yeah, folks, I mean, I told you volatility was here. And the funny part is yesterday I did actually mention that I would not be surprised at all today if we had a huge bullish day. Wouldn't be surprised even in the slightest. So we'll see what we get tomorrow. No clue from me what we're going to do. Gap up. I mean, if we gap up above the high, I'll be extremely and moronically bullish. We probably gap up a little bit, and tomorrow's candle most likely looks like this. We'll probably gap up some, sell off. We have an inside candle tomorrow, and then Thursday, Friday. I'm assuming we go higher, but again, at this point, if the tariffs come back on, we're going to go down. If the tariffs are not on, we're going to go back up. The market does not like tariffs. I think we all know that. Rob says, one could argue today was the beginning of a wave 3. Probably not, but it could be. Oh, Rob, you are so correct. That argument can definitely be made. And on the hourly chart, it's a little bit harder to see, but you're certainly correct. So here's what I'm saying. I know I missed it today, but man, if we pop again tomorrow, like, we have plenty of room to go higher, is what I'm trying to say. We got loads of room to go higher. We had a pullback. This is a nice pullback. I think we're going to have an inside day tomorrow, and maybe Thursday we'll do something big, but volatility is here to stay. So we have absolute room to go higher. If we have some good bullish moves, a good gap up or a break above, let's rock and roll. The Qs, so the Qs are up massive. This is a rest after battle. I mean, this is a bullish rest after battle candlestick pattern. Like, I am not shocked about this. I'm not blown away. Falco says, what if we gap down tomorrow? So if we gap down tomorrow, we're going to do the exact same thing we did on Friday. Almost verbatim. So if we gap down, depending on how big we gap down, but if we gap down small, like moderate, we're going to do the exact same thing we did Friday. So I'll be selling, I'll be looking to short, you know, play it down, and then as it trades down into the lows, I'll look to buy a little bit of a bounce. Yep, very good question. So depending on how big we gap down, but yeah, that's my thoughts. Very, very valid question. So that's the Qs. Here's the Dow Jones ETF, right? Dow Jones ETF was hanging out, and the IWM was up massive today at one point, and then ended up a little bit of an upper shadow. Oh boy, what a fun, weird, wild market this is. I mean, again, the thing is, I know any bearishness that we have is short-term lived. I am, as you all know, full bull and 100% expect the market to continue to make all-time highs. And if it happens, cool. Swing trades are going to be a little bit aggressive. Like, you're going to have to be in and out pretty quickly. Day trading, though, I mean, if you want to have some fun, day trades is the way to play right now. There's all kinds of great movement out there. A lot of volatility. Just get a good night's sleep and be prepared for market open tomorrow, because who in the heck knows what's going to happen, but I'll be ready. I'll be nimble, just prepared and ready to rock out anything. All right, done. Any questions on that so far? Felicia says, I literally missed everything this morning. A little nervous to swing anything. Yes, right now swings are going to be pretty tough. Long term, we should be fine for the bulls. Again, tariffs, in my personal opinion, are not negative for the vast majority of US products and companies, and I don't think it's going to be a negative anyway. The markets do not like tariffs short term. We know that, but longer term, I still think we're going to keep going higher. I just don't really see any evidence on that, contrary to that, but who knows? We'll find out. I mean, time will tell. Okay, let's go look at some swings. SAIL, Sale Point Technologies, this morning did like everything else. It gapped down and then immediately got bought up. So as far as a swing trade is concerned, this does have a nice little gap and go. We are battling the 100. It did not pull back to where I would like to have bought it. I'm going to keep waiting. I do not think we gap up tomorrow above the high on most stocks. But if we do gap above the high tomorrow, it's going to be either the easiest fade of all time or the easiest bullish move of all time. I just don't know which one's going to be. So we'll have to see. Sale point, I mean, like I said, if we opens tomorrow morning at 2265, it's going to run. The good news is, even though I didn't get to participate in the market, the thing you have to smile about is the traders who did participate, if they played it bullish, they made a big money. And Tom got 2 Rs on Amazon this morning. Could have been 5 Rs, but he's happy that he made 2. John Salvio had some gorgeous, gorgeous setups this morning. And a few traders played Micron Technology because we talked about Micron Technology yesterday. I'll repeat what I said yesterday verbatim. And those who traded Micron today absolutely smoked it. So the good news is the analysis still worked out. Same thing. I'm going to write this one down for tomorrow morning just in case. SAIL, we gap up tomorrow morning on this one. I'm going to watch for a run. Okay. So next on the list is the one that we got stopped out on. And it was a high risk, high reward. So I guess I can't be tremendously upset about it. It was just one that just did not fade higher. New Relic, I guess, is down too strong to go up. Again, I don't necessarily think this has a dramatic impact on the whole China thing. And I was excited because this morning, you can see the 13th, we gapped up this morning. And with the whole market running higher, I was like, all right, New Relic is going to move higher. Nope. Nope, 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 nope. That did not happen. So that is the R loss. And so for August, I forgot to do my update yesterday, but I am down an R.5 for the month, 100% thanks to my swing trades. So New Relic stopped out of that one, and I'm just going to let that one do whatever it's going to do. I'll put it on the list for a day trade tomorrow, just in case. If it gaps up or gaps down, I'm going to watch it because I would like to get that R back. Remember, if I get trapped on something, watch it. Okay? Watch that position. So getting trapped on this trade, I mean, you could have day traded this thing relatively bearish at some point today. So here's the 5-minute chart, and the 5-minute chart, right, once it broke down, you can see an opportunity or two for a little bit of a day trade action on this, especially once it broke this support. You know, here's a short opportunity right here. This was evening star reversal, was free money. This was a really good breakdown. So, you know, if I do get stopped out on something, looking at a day trade opportunity is never a massive negative, I don't think. So that's NEWR. Next on the list, we were looking at this one yesterday, just kind of as a fun ETF to check out. And I was just kind of interested to see what it would do. Volume came in on this one. Again, volume is just lighter. So if you play this one, you probably are going to want to just play it with long-term shares. Purchasing some positions, tiptoeing in. For those who did tiptoe in from yesterday's afternoon room on just about anything, it worked out for you. We talked about tiptoeing in on Walmart and talked about a few other things. BLOK, this one, you know, gapped down, faded higher, so that was nice. But that's all I have on that one. That would just be a long-term play. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, one stock that we're going to have to continue to keep our eyes on. I want to make sure we all know how bullish this move on Carvana is. I am tremendously blown away by this stock. This is one that we've traded a few times before. And for all of those who went on the real life trading cruise, May of 2018, this was the stock pick that I told a lot of people to consider putting in $1 or $2 into, was Carvana. And so that helped pay for that cruise. Now, the interesting thing is it actually rolled up and then came all the way back down, did it again, came all the way back down. Falco says this is a massive short squeeze. And not only that, but earnings on Carvana were legit. This company did 107% year-over-year revenue growth. 100%. I mean, that is no joke. Like, there are not many companies that can say that they did that, especially companies that you know what they do and they're not some random, you know, like knee cancer drug. Carvana, gap and go, 107% year-over-year growth. That is amazing. So fundamentally, this is a stock to keep your eyes on. And if I had to make it a comparison to something, this thing could pull a ROKU, where people keep shorting it and it just keeps squeezing out the shorts and just keeps rocking. Now, I'm not saying it's going to go to 100 tomorrow. I'm not saying you should run out and buy it tomorrow. In fact, I'm saying I would like some type of pullback on this particular stock, but we're going to absolutely want to play Carvana bullishly for the next few months, or at least have this on your watch list or even add it to your swing trade list, because those earnings were no joke. Read through them. I mean, they're just adding and growing. And again, how are kids going to buy cars in 10 years, right? You got to think 10 years from now, I'll be 42, 41, almost 42. And there'll be a lot of kids out there who are 16 right now, will be 26. And they're going to be buying their cars online through Carvana, I'm going to assume. And that is, I mean, that's incredible. So the thing is flying. Okay. JL says the Saturday classifieds. Upwork, UPWK. Now, this company, long-term, I do think has a viable potential to do something fun. We have a real interesting high wave candle, and we might be able to play this one again. We played it once. This was the weekly chart. This would be the daily perspective right here. And if we can get an inside candle tomorrow, I'll consider this one. It does look a little bit different than the market, and this is kind of similar to how we traded it last time. Depending on what the candles look like and how it pops, we might be able to trade Upwork. This could also be maybe one that you do like an investment on. Trust me, folks, it's much easier to come up with an idea than have the money for the idea. I don't have any position in Upwork right now. I will run out of money far before I run out of opportunities to trade or think of companies that are great. So again, this is the one that I would probably throw in the entrepreneur starter kit ETF that doesn't exist. And Upwork, you know, a lot of people use them. I think they're a pretty cool industry company. product, and I think they were easy to work with. So anyway, UPWK, we'll come back to it tomorrow. Could be a little bit of a fun one. Let's go check out IT. IT looks market similar. Cheryl was looking at this one. She wanted to play, I think it was Cheryl, she wanted to play ticker symbol IT. And this is simply what Mr. Squiggles drew. The good news about today's candle is you have tons of volume, massive upper shadow. So if you're looking at playing IT, Cheryl, I think you could probably have a decent looking entry around here and have a stop loss down here. It's a little bit of a pricey stock. Entry at about 129.50, stop at about 124.50. So $5 worth of risk. Here's the weekly chart, and you're below the 100 simple on a weekly. We have an inside candle so far, and you had a really, really big sell-off. Don't know what this company does fundamentally. I really would like to see it do this though. Big picture, I think it's a glorious trend. So if you do tiptoe into a position over here, it makes sense. I get it. Weekly time frame, just slowly churning and burning. I mean, that's a nice looking trend. Falco says, TLRY lost $31 million selling over 5 million metric tons of marijuana. I think they need a new CEO. How do you do that? We'll go look at TLRY, but it sounds like someone's doing something horrifically wrong over there. So I don't know if this stock is in the pot industry or not. IT services and consulting doesn't seem like they are. Maybe they will do some consulting with TLRY and help them out. Mark says they are remedial arithmetic is needed at TLRY. Yeah, sounds like it. Sounds like it. So IT, that's my thoughts on it, Cheryl. I hope it helps. This is another company fundamentally that is pretty solid. And I looked at it yesterday. We discussed this particular setup, 102.45 by 95.38. And what I'm going to most likely have to do at this particular point in time is let me either exit some of the swing trades that we have now and lock in some profits before I take something else, because it's just been a sea of red. Pretty much all the month of August, it's like losing, and losing when it comes to swing trades. Day trades is fine. So let me just figure out how some of these play out, and we'll look at some of them today. So I'm just going to wait on this one. I feel like I will try to battle. August apparently will be a very slow financial month, most likely. I think the last time I was down half an hour, hour and a half, halfway through the month was like October of last year, which was my worst year. It's my worst month just in general, pretty much my life for a long time. But financially, it was a really bad month for trading for me, 2018. So I think I'm just going to wait on a lot of new swing trades until I can get a little bit more of a feel for what the market's going to do. And I'm just going to kind of focus a lot on day trades. So let me just see how some of the swing trades we're in right now hold out. Of course, if you have more cash, more income, more money, or more trading opportunities, and you want to kind of smash and grab some trades, I think this one could be a decent opportunity on Guardiant Health. All right. Now, Costco, C-O-S-T, Costco did not go down. So I talked about it yesterday. I said, hey, maybe if this thing breaks lower. And then the market said, lower? What's that? Do you mean an actual stock that trends bearish for more than a week? Nah, there's no need to do that. That's dumb. Let's just continue going higher. That's what Costco said. And there's no even reason for me to set that up bearish. Looks like it's just going to continue higher, as random and crazy as that sounds. Today was such a fast and explosive move. One of two things happen. We either just gap up and just keep flying tomorrow and just everyone's just in a panic and rushes to buy, for however long that lasts, or we retest decently. You know, so even on Costco, we have a nice little pullback tomorrow, and then we'll kind of see what more plays out. That would be very tricky of the market if this is a bullish trap. It certainly could be, but if this is a bullish trap, we have some fun moves ahead of us. All right, so for those who have the weekly options newsletter, I'm trying Square again. Implied volatility has decreased a little bit this time. The reason I'm trying again, number one, still fuming, still upset about that trade right there. Right there. Option stock moved $3. If I would trade the stock, I would have gotten out. $3 on stock with 100 shares, $300. So that's pretty solid. It was at what? I think based on the stock, I think I had an entry here and a stop loss here. Probably would have been like 200 shares. Yeah, it would have been a solid R and some change with shares. Options though was barely an R, and I guess I should have exited. I mean, I thought it would fill this gap a little bit more. Apparently I was wrong. And option still shouldn't have been stopped out yesterday though. Still should not have been stopped out, but the option premium just dried up like an egg on the hot sidewalk of Arizona. However, it did come into the weekly 100 simple on Square. I've been waiting for this moment since forever. So since it's happening, I'm going to try it again. That doesn't mean that it's going to work. In fact, I'm probably going to lose on this trade. I mean, with the market the way it is, why not? Probably going to lose and have to trade it again a third time. Remember, I will attempt a bounce 4 times before I just throw it in the trash. This is time number 2 on Square. Even if we just get this, you know, like we could make some quick gains on that move bullishly. So we'll just kind of find out and see what it does. And yeah, anyway, nice candle, good volume. It's an inside candle, almost a tweezer bottom. And that's pretty much what I got. All right, so that's in your weekly options newsletter that is going to hit your inbox in 33 minutes. When I close this out, I can send it out. Okay, guess what? I have a winning swing trade right now. Is that crazy or what? That is insane. Trying to figure out what to do on this one. Because again, I did lose on NEWR, but it hasn't made a new low yet. JL bought some call options, which makes sense, right? We came down into this support. Came into the support, so looking at being long, trying to pick up a call option or two. My 2R target would be 34.23, and that'd be the first 2R target hit on a swing trade in like a month and a half. The hourly chart right now looks pretty okay. So I think I'm just going to keep holding this one a little bit longer. Because if we take out this candle at 8:30 open, you know, especially if we do something like this. So let me kind of draw what is most likely going to do on Uber. If we can do that, I'll be relatively pleased. And I think I'm just going to keep holding the trade bearish. I'm not saying it can't bounce, JL. It very well could. And if it does, it probably will tip its toe into 35 area before it bounces. 35, 72, something like that, a new low. I'm going to do my best not to lose on this trade. And again, I do like Uber long term, but I'm also not a moron. They lost $5 billion. That's with an L. 5 billion with 2 L's. 5 billion with 2 L's and an O. In a quarter. Quarter's not that long of a time. In fact, if Uber gave me $5 billion, I would not lose it in a quarter. That's how much money that is. I probably would have had a hard time spending that much money in a quarter. So I'm gonna let Uber do its thing. Here's the weekly chart. The weekly chart to me looks a little bit on the bearish side, I think. That's why I'm in bearish. So 2R targets 34.23. Let's see what Uber does. I'm expecting it to go down a little bit more. All right, Adobe. ADBE. Just doing what Adobe does. I don't know what else to say. Every time I look at this chart, it's like, I don't know where I'm going to get in. If you're buying Adobe, I'm assuming you're just buying it off these long-term moving averages and you're just picking up a share or two at a time because it's an expensive little stock. Volume looks good, looks pretty much like the broader market. Trend looks solid. Here's the weekly chart. I mean, looks pretty fresh. Samuel says PRGO and HXL. Could you take a look at this? I'll put those on the list for tomorrow, my good man. All right, so Adobe, high wave inside candle on the weekly chart. So keep an eye on it. If the market closes below the bullish candle made today, I would argue at any point this month, I have zero clue what the market's going to do, and I'm just going to have to prepare for everything. I'm just going to have to hedge all kinds of stuff. I'm going to have to be in all kinds of things. Might even go into some serious cash for some just swing trades and just day trade a lot. Because if we close below this candle soon, I mean, that'll be some majestically marvelous volatility in the market. So, yeah, ride 'em cowboy, Adobe, doing its thing. Next on the list, COUP, Koopa Troopa. That is the this is the one of the characters of Mario Kart's. COUP has trended and traded sideways since IPO 2016 and then broke out 2018. 2 years later, strong close, double bottom. I have no idea what wave count this is. Some kind of consolidation and then a 1, 2. This is a wave 3 of 3, obviously. So again, kind of like the rest of the market, you know, it's consolidating and distributing up here. So this is the daily chart. Daily chart, trend looks good. Candle looks good. It looks very similar to the broader market. Almost a tweezer bottom, gorgeous, gorgeous close above yesterday's candle. So I would assume on COUP that this trend and you will continue to be friends until earnings. And then earnings, we'll see what happens. If the trend continues, awesome. And if it doesn't continue, you know, I wouldn't specifically expect that. On the hourly chart, I'd kind of be looking to get in above 139 bullishly. So COUP, trend looks good to me right now. If it continues, let it keep riding. PCAR. All right, give me 1 second. Let me close this door. All right, so PCAR, massive bullish candle today. Huge. Yeah, I think I know what this thing's about to do. If you're playing this stock, you're probably going to look to do a bull put spread. Let's go see if there's any kind of premium. PCAR. What do we got for September? I might even do October. September, 62.50 pays 90 cents, and I could buy the 60 for 50 cents. So 40 cents on a $2.50 margin. That's not bad. Weekly chart. That's what I'll do on this one on a pullback tomorrow. This blue is still never got the blue that I used to have. I don't know what happened to the blue that I used to have. I think I'm gonna have to change my color, my note colors. That blue is just not the blue I used to have. All right. 62.50, 60 bull put spread September. 50 cent limit. I'm gonna come back to this one tomorrow, see if it still looks good, but that will be below the 200 simple on a weekly chart. That would be below the 50 on a monthly chart. That would be below the 200 simple on a daily. And tomorrow we probably pull back, retest this massive candle. And then if PCAR closes below 63.83, I'll know to hedge with a long put that I could buy or day trade if I need to. So for my credit spread fans, PCAR, we'll come back and look at that tomorrow. If it still looks good, then we'll just set that bad boy up. Okay, DT, brand new IPO, doing absolute jack squat. So it did not run. In fact, we did get in bullish on this day, August 7th, which I guess looking at it, I should try to get in at 25.06. And I should have, I'm assuming, exit at least 10% right there at that new all-time high. So having the stop loss at 22.16, we've been in the trade 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days. Here's the hourly chart, and this is best case scenario from here. That's best case. So I'm gonna come back and look at it tomorrow, and if it doesn't stop me out, I'm gonna have to move the stop up or exit the trade. So we're gonna come back and look at that tomorrow. Most likely tomorrow, I'll move the stop up, and hopefully she'll start bouncing. Came down to a support zone, newer tech stock. It did close up 1% today, but again, this is one that we are in, and this is an R that I might be just throwing to the wolves with a reckless abandon. Okay, another one, brand new IPO, KRUS. I do like the lower shadows, so those are nice. And the volume on this one, drying up a little bit, but if I go to the hourly chart, I do kind of like the movements on this hourly setup. So we'll keep a close eye on KRUS, but I'll draw a little bit of a line in here, and more or less, if it's not above 22 by Friday, I can tell you this trade is most likely not going to work for our specific setup. Okay. If not above 22 by end of day Friday. So that's going to kind of be like my plan for how I know when I should like pull the ripcord or do something specific on KRUS. Another brand new IPO. Just playing them because I think they're fun to play. They're challenging. We don't really know what they're going to do. No clue what this. I haven't looked into this company yet fundamentally, and that's about it. Okay, KRUS done. Now Apple was, so I have Apple. This candle is not accurate. So let's just go look at my Apple on TrendSpider. So TrendSpider, I'll go to a weekly chart because it does not have appropriate candle on TradingView. And you know, that's just what it looks like. So the weekly chart on Apple looks good. You broke above the high of last week. This trend I don't think is relevant right now, so I'll delete that one. So this is the weekly chart, looks really pretty. If I turn the heat map on, we have a lot of support around 190. So that's super useful to know, I think. This is your volume, your anchored VWAP. So the anchored VWAP is about 186, which I was saying if we pull back to that spot, will be the location that it would most likely trade into and bounce. The daily time frame on Apple, again, just had, this was a massive move out of nowhere. So the only way you caught this is you were already in Apple bullish with put sales or shares or long-term calls, which it turns out a few of you own some shares of Apple. It turns out that some of you are bullish on this stock. I think that's good. It's probably a good thing. The daily heat map, a lot of resistance here at 210. And that's why we faded the last few times we're above there. So hitting this resistance I was looking at it, Julian, and I think that if you did want to buy a protective put, this probably actually is the spot. So me and Julian were chatting about buying some protective puts on Apple, and I would say you should snag some protection here just in case. If you want to buy a protective put, because this is a really wild, randomly fast move on Apple. Apple very rarely moves up 4% in a day for no earthly reason out of nowhere and has zero recourse. So personally, really confident we're gonna have a decent little pullback on Apple probably this week. So if you're looking at selling a covered call, 230 covered call could be relatively ideal. And you can almost do that for October and get $2 and some change. So if I come back over to this drawing and charting software, Scott said he purchased back this 190 put sale today on Apple. So again, this candle's not accurate on Apple, at least according to the other data subscriptions that we have. And 230, so here's the weekly chart. Yeah, so the weekly chart doesn't quite look like that. So we'll see if that, hopefully that candle will get updated soon on TradingView. But the 230 covered call is going to be a decent little level. So let me horizontal line, 230, properties, color, green, line stroke, a little bit thicker, label, covered call, this will reset the properties of the horizontal line. Okay. So let me 230. That's cool that it shows the price on the line to the left like that. But I don't know, create an alert, remove. I'm trying to figure out, do you guys know yet how to get it exactly to 230? I'll find that out tonight. Okay, I will, give me a second and we will find out. By the way, I already got one thing updated in TrendSpider, which again, someone asked me, hey Jeremy, is there something wrong with TradingView? Do you hate TradingView? It's like, no, my answer was, it's just like a restaurant. I like going to a lot of restaurants, but I'm still gonna go to different restaurants because I like other food. TrendSpider is not gonna be the end all be all. It's not gonna be the only thing I ever use forever. I've had plenty of other softwares in the past, and I've used, I use Thinkorswim all the time, you know. So I'm just thinking to myself, plenty of trades out there, and I do love the applications, the program, the customer support, the pricing, the data. There's a lot of fantastic applications about TrendSpider that I really do like. John says if you click don't show price, then it would go in the notes. Then it would go in the notes. I'm just trying to figure out how to get the 230. This would be October, Alan. October 18th. Okay. Quick video. Hey man, super quick question. So if I want to get this horizontal array at exactly 230, how do I do that without just trying to drag and drop it, and without me trying to like get it to hit 230 with my finger? How can I just type it so it just syncs to 230 exactly? All right, so I'll shoot that video. John says unclick show price. Unclick show price. All right. That has been unclicked. Now put it in notes. Oh, true. I could do it this way. I agree. You're absolutely right. I do like that. But I do actually want it to be exactly 230. also, because I'm a little bit of a nerd. Like, I'm going to go to sleep tonight thinking, man, there's this green line on Apple at 229.96. But no, thank you for that. That's super, super helpful. I'm sure I can get the font a little bit bigger too at some point. Let me ask that question. And also, how do I get the font a little bit bigger on that one? So anyway, a little OCD, no big deal. All is good. Learning and we're growing. Type in a 3 if you were here watching me learn TradingView. Who was here back during that time? Was anyone around during that time? Let's see if I got any. Bill was here. I know Bill was here. Who else? I'm just going through. I know Jill was here. Victor was here. So the reason I'm bringing it up, it took me like a year to figure out TradingView. So, good stuff. Next on the list, Netflix. Netflix is just hanging out. I think if you type in a 4 if you want to own some shares in Netflix long term. If you don't, that's totally fine. I know Bob wants to. If you want to, I think the best put sale that you're going to want to do is a 240 October. 240 October put sale is going to be solid, I think. Because I'm a buyer on Netflix at 240. Netflix hits 240, I'm a buyer there. Bob has a 285 December put sale. I think you could just do October. If you want to do longer, you can, but I think that would be a decent spot to get paid to be patient. Right now, you're looking at $2 a contract on Netflix at 240. Wouldn't be that bad. And you're looking at October, which I believe is over earnings. So you're going to get some, some fun little premium. You'll probably be able to buy it back in September anyway. And I think that'd probably be the way to play Netflix. The analysis that I did the other day on Netflix, the other day being yesterday or the day before, was relatively similar. That if I'm playing it bullish directionally, like either buying calls or doing something like that, I want it to break above here, retest, continue, retest, continue. It's going to take some time to get above a lot of these areas. And I do like these trends on Netflix. I have been really practicing this one. I don't think Netflix is going to be the best trade tomorrow unless it gaps above or below the higher low of today. I don't think it's going to. I'm going to throw it on my list just in case because this one's kind of been doing stuff that the broader market hasn't been doing. But if we open here, full bear. Open here, oh man. If for any reason Netflix is opening at 317 tomorrow, you can be as bullish as you want on a shorter term time frame. Maybe even longer term, I don't know. But if we gap above there, which again, I don't think would happen, but that would be ridiculous. All right, so next, how come I don't have Micron on this list? Type in a 6. Did anyone play Micron today? So here's my analysis from yesterday. My analysis on yesterday was if Micron gaps above the high of today's candle tomorrow, be extremely bullish because the rest of the market was down and Micron held with good relative strength with a nice little upper shadow, end quote. So on Micron today, again, did not play it. Talked about that this morning. If you play this on a 5-minute time frame or a 3-minute time frame, Scott McKay, this was you all day long. Phenomenal gap right above the high of yesterday. Some bearish candles at the close of yesterday. High wave candle on a 5-minute chart, sheer perfection. 3-minute chart was even better. This was, or if you played the breakout of this pre-market high, right? You got in bullish at 42.91 by 43.31. 42.31, sorry. So that was a great gap, and that's why you really want to take close notes, folks, when I mention, hey, if something does this tomorrow morning, I got a feel for those things. I look at these stocks all the time, That was a great, great move. So from here, I actually do anticipate quick little retest tomorrow. I'll be looking at MU to possibly gap down tomorrow morning, and I'll look to short it, and then I'll look to go long somewhere in the gap, most likely. Again, long term, I do like MU as a buy on some shares. Just because it's volatile, it's not that expensive, and it's fun. Options on this one are a party. So Micron is a blast. Tesla, verbatim yesterday. Let's click replay and see what I talked about on Tesla yesterday. Hey folks, this is a shaved bottom candle on Tesla. If it gaps down tomorrow, look to fade it bullish because it's been in a nice little consolidated range and you have a shaved bottom gapping down, most likely will fade. All right, you can turn off the recording. So that was a shaved bottom candle. We gapped down this morning, small, like the rest of the market. And check out this 5-minute candle on Tesla. If you want to back trade Tesla, and that's going to be Scott McKay's homework, because Scott's coming to Nashville in 2 weeks to trade with me all week again. Only person ever to do it twice. That guy is just, he wants either a lot of money or a lot of greatness to come into his life, because this guy is going to be crushing it with me again. And he's going to be at the retreat. So I love it. So Scott, that's your homework. You're going to be trading and back trading Tesla, because this gap down was just sheer Gardens of Babylon perfect. Higher lows, relative high. You got a bearish candle. It broke above, then it retested. I would have made so much on Tesla today. Today would have been like a 6-hour day. That's why I was upset. I would have played Tesla bullish. I would have played Micron bullish, and I am relatively confident I would have gotten 4 hours on those trades. I did the work yesterday. I put in the time, and I just didn't, yeah, it was whatever. Insert 900 excuses. Phenomenal. So that's Tesla. So what are we going to do from here? Well, I'm just going to keep hanging on to these things. Got the 270, 275 bear call, got the 285 September call for the hedge, and got the put sales. So I'm just going to let it keep doing its thing. Tomorrow, we will see. I won't be as excited on Tesla. If it gaps up tomorrow and runs, I'll watch it. I'm sure it'll come up on a screener or something. But at some point, we're going to have ourselves a little bit of a breaky break on Tesla in one direction or another. Don't know what direction, but right now I'm full neutral on the Tesla. All right, so Amazon. Tom played Amazon bullish today, and he played it like he always does. He waits 3 minutes, and then he takes the break of the high wave candle. That's pretty much it. Tom and I practiced that exact strategy on Amazon about 400 million times. This is how I would have traded Amazon this morning. I set it up on my phone, just watching it when I was doing my recordings. Look at Amazon. I mean, look at this 3-minute candle. This is how Tom played it, with options, by the way. With options. The high of these two candles, exactly the same by 1 penny. 1784, 17841. Whoo-wee. Man, what a play. What a play. 3-minute bearish candle, gapping down slightly, equal highs. Tom got 2 R's in 9 minutes on Amazon. 1,200 bucks. 1,200 on Amazon. Could have been a lot more. But he's okay with it. He's fine. He's not upset. It's always the case, right? You could always get more. You can always get more. You're never going to sell the exact high. But that was a great trade, Tom. Truly well-deserved. And today on Amazon, I mean, we were talking about spreads. We were talking about condors. We were talking about credit spreads a lot yesterday on Amazon. That's probably how I would do it. I mean, a mixed bag of bull put and bear call spreads maybe. The trend is bullish. Again, I'm very interested to see what happens tomorrow. If for some weird, wacky reason Amazon gaps up tomorrow, do it again. You know, it doesn't have to, but if we gap up tomorrow on just about anything above the highs of today, I will be watching them for a continuation higher. And as you all know, I don't see any rational reason why Amazon will not double in the next 4 years as far as its stock price is concerned. Facebook, ticker symbol FB. Facebook hanging out. 100 simple on the daily chart, holding Facebook strong. Let's pull up Facebook on TrendSpider because there's a lot of fun trends. A lot of good trend lines on this one. Almost typed it incorrectly. FFB, I'm not sure what stock that is. Let's try this again. Let's just go with FB. So yep, that trend, that like maroon trend is pretty much the 100 simple on this one. If I go to a weekly chart, I mean, for me, Facebook presently is just, again, probably a buy and hold. It has plenty of room to go up. If you're on Instagram, number one, you should follow me. I got 2 Instagram accounts, Jeremy Newsom, and also, obviously, Real Life Trading. Robin, I don't think you follow me on Instagram, so better get at me. And other than that, long term, Facebook looks good. I mean, I don't know what else to say. Own Instagram, own Facebook, own WhatsApp. Long term looks nice. Gorgeous little upper shadow. Buy the dips, be bullish longer term. Hold, protect yourself, and hedge with options. All right, got 5 more. Petro, Brazil, ticker symbol PBR. Petro, Brazil, daily chart. This one held up okay today. Here's the weekly chart. And the weekly chart should have so these trends. Big double bottom, really good support around 1265. I'd love a pullback to there. So if we ever pull back to 1265, that would be wonderful. In the daily time frame on Petro Brazil, you have yourself a pretty bullish candle, actually. So if I were playing this one, I would probably just snap an entry above the high of today with a stop low of today, especially if we get an inside candle the next 2 or 3 days. I think that would be a relatively fun thing to do. So if I come back over to PBR on the daily chart, yeah, especially an inside candle, a break above the high of today, I'd be relatively bullish, but preferentially, I'd like to get PBR 1270-ish. All right, we got 4 left. AMD did exactly what we talked about yesterday, and I do think this huge gap should fill a little bit at some point. This is going to be a weekly options newsletter setup. I might have been too late on it. Probably should have been set up yesterday, but new 5-year high came in on Friday. And if AMD, some people try to buy it and they try to buy a breakout, I'm going to buy some puts on AMD because I think this gap will fill. That's pretty much my whole analysis. This massive, massive gap, brand new all-time high, huge volume. I mean, massive, massive volume. I'm just expecting it to pull back a little bit. So the hourly chart, here's kind of what I'm thinking the hourly chart might do. A lot of people start buying it. We run up a little bit. We buy it, get triggered on some puts, and then we roll over and eventually fill this gap. We are below some of the moving averages that I like to use. Falco says we still have short puts. That is correct. So still got these 26. I have not sold these back. So this would be technically a giant bear put spread realistically. JL Derulo is already in on some puts, and cool deal. So kind of getting into a bear put spread theoretically and technically on AMD, but just looking at buying puts on a pullback on a higher move if it happens, just because I think that massive, massive gap will fill. And I really don't mind owning shares at 26 with that short put. All right, so the last one's Zillow. I bet you a dime to a donut. Yates is looking at going bullish on Zillow. You have bearish gap and go. You got a high wave candle, lower high, lower high, lower high. You have 3 candles in a row with lower lows and lower highs. Zillow, big pullback, massive, massive move. And then if I zoom in here to an hourly chart looks like it's going to try to pop a little bit. So I'm gonna put this on my list for tomorrow. And I think we can watch Zillow just to find out if we can catch a bottom, even if it's a day trade. So you do have 3 candles in a row with lower lows and lower highs. The unfortunate thing is you got the 200 simple on the daily and weekly acting as a resistance at both about 38 bucks. So what I'll probably do on Zillow is wait for this, this, and that if I'm gonna go long. So we can begin watching it. Yates does real estate, and I think Falco does real estate sales as well. And I don't know if you guys have any positions in Zillow or not, but, or if you just want to short them because they're your competition, not really sure. But yeah, keep an eye on it. We'll see what they do. Zillow, that's my thoughts. 2 left, ROKU. This was one that I did set up a day trade on. And my analysis yesterday, I can only fade a pullback retest. So here's the 5-minute chart. And this is the one that I wasn't here for. I didn't see this breakdown. Obviously, this was the breakdown here. This was the pullback here to short. And if you didn't catch this one, for whatever reason, if you're going to short ROKU, you didn't short it there, you would have gotten in with a break below this candle and a retest there. So when I set the trade up, I got home from doing my video recordings right around here, and I posted the trade in Slack and missed it. Just never retested, never pulled back, so I didn't get a chance to short it. And I missed out on an R or so on ROKU. How did you play ROKU today? You guys have any trade setups? Feel free to message me, throw them in Slack. Let me know how you played it. I'll look for it again to short, just because after that many candles in a row, I mean, I know the trend's bullish, right? I know it's a counter trend trade, but if you're gonna play it bearish, you wait for the signal. Don't just pick the top, you wait for the breakdown, and you actually wait for that close, and you short the pullback. So ROKU had a good little move today if you're gonna play it bearish, even though it was a very short-term little move. So we'll continue. I'll watch it tomorrow. It'll be on my list in case it gaps down. And last but not least, TLRY, losing money selling metric tons of weed, gapping down 8%, 42.32. Very nice gap and go tomorrow. No idea if it's going to get bought up or not, but I would be a little bit shocked if it does. I won't personally be buying it, and I think TLRY should easily make its way down to $20 after this gap, especially if it opens below 41.54. We open below 41.54 tomorrow. TLRY is going to go to 20 in a matter of weeks. So TLRY, I'll put on the list for tomorrow. Obviously, it's a bearish gap and go. And if you can find some shares to short on it, let's have a good time. Tomorrow is Energy Wednesday. What do you want to look at tomorrow? Here's what I have on the list so far. CBLK, Upwork again, PRGO, HXL, PCAR, DT, First Solar, British Petroleum, SU. Anything else? In-phase Energy, HES. Okay, perfect. All right, gorgeous, good, wonderful, fantastic. All right, folks, that's it. Thank you for being here. You rock, and until next time, love life, and trade it. Bye.